Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Pony 411. This is episode 95 for the week of March 15th. I am co-host Alca7raz, and with me, as usual, is Nemesis.
Beware the Ides of March.
Yes. I don't want to get too stabby. It's tomorrow, so... well, today.
It'll be actually be St. Patrick's Day by the time.
Yeah, by the time you hear it, it'll be, hey!
Go drink, but be
drink.
responsible about it. Remember, pony responsibly.
Yes. Drink is responsible. Well, no. Don't drink as responsibly as you pony, because apparently people can't pony responsibly either. So just drink responsibly. So yes, we got another episode. We're going to go, again, back into the past.
No.
But not that far back into the past.
Oh.
Yes, we're going to go back to the beginning of what we know, what we're here for. We're going to go back and look at the pilot. Is it as good as we thought? Or is it better? Is it worse? Ha, ha, ha. You'll have to find out when we get to there. Because first, we have the news. If you'd like to follow along, and I do recommend that you do, you can find all of our show notes at pony411.libsyn.com/show notes. So go there, click that, click the link for this episode, and follow along. So let's get started. In convention news, Crystal Mountain PonyCon is starting an Indiegogo campaign to help raise money for the convention. They've released a short little animated video about it too, so yeah, go check that out.
There's a thing.
It's a thing. Midwest Brony Fest has announced that Black Griffin and Michelle Krieber will be opening for their Louder concert.
What's that?
Exactly. So yeah, listen to those two. Speaking of Black Griffin, he will also be attending BabsCon. So if you like his stuff, a couple places.
He's ruining conventions and the show.
Yay!
Wait.
He's not ruining the show. It's just in the freaking choir.
It's too much. No one man should have all that power.
God, it's like people are like, I want to be part of the show, and I'm mad that other people get to it, not me. Get over it.
I should be part of the show.
No, you shouldn't. That would ruin the show.
Incidental pony number 12.
Yeah, no. Anyway, Everfree Northwest has opened auditions for the convention skit actors. So, if you like cosplaying and acting...
And jokes.
And jokes, yes. Go audition for that. Everfree Northwest has also announced some community guests, including Draw Ponies, the Fiery Joker, Dusty Cat, Silver Slinger, and Pony Toast.
Some of those guys have been there like every year.
Yep. I think I've seen at least Dusty Cat every year.
Yeah.
I got some stuff from Draw Ponies last year.
Silver's
there.
At least last 2 years.
Last 2 years.
At least. I think he was there for the first year too.
I think he was, but I can't remember. In fandom news, Jay Haller has released a short little clip of what we could expect from the upcoming Ponies Anthology 5.
Yeah, remember that?
Yes.
Remember how they had to cancel 4?
Yes.
Sort of.
Sort of.
An odd thing.
That was odd. So yeah, it's interesting. Go check it out. The Overmare Studios has released the entries for the Pip Buck Art Contest. They started about 4 months ago.
Yeah, the top entries actually get to go in the game.
Yep.
As artwork for the perks.
Yep. Also, I think we sort of mentioned this, was it last week, a couple weeks ago?
A couple weeks ago.
The T-Rec update for that Game Loft Pony game is actually now being pushed out to Android devices.
Yes, I got an update notification.
Yes, so it's out. So go get it if you play that game.
Actually, I got 2 because of 2 different devices, but yeah.
Yes. In merchandise news, a Rainbow Dash version of Yahtzee will be coming out soon. Hasbro likes to combine their stuff.
Yahtzee.
So, yeah, I think it's up for pre-order on Entertainment Earth.
4 in a row. Straight. 4 of a kind.
Yeah.
Full House.
That's a really old TV show.
That too.
It looks like the new McDonald's MLP toys will actually include some pony toys after all.
Yes.
Not just those weird EQG ones. So,
But
some
also
images...
weird pony ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Not as weird as the humanized ones, though. Yeah, some images of the Pinkie Pie in both Equestria Girls and pony versions, and pony versions of Fluttershy and Twilight have shown up. So, in their McDonald's packaging. So yes. Looking to see when those will come out. Ponified MasterCard prepaid cards designs are now available. So yeah.
Yes.
If you can, take the embarrassment of going into the store and pulling out ponies on your card to buy stuff, there you go.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
They're prepaid. They're not credit cards. They're debit cards that you actually have to load up with money. So
I double dare you.
Yeah, I think there's, 19 designs?
Something like
2
that.
for each of the main 6. And then there's, Luna and Celestia and Spikes. And, yeah. There's some stuff there, so check it out.
Prepaid. So they are basically like gift cards.
Yep, basically. Reloadable gift
Anywhere
cards.
that MasterCard is accepted.
Yes. Maybe Visa will do that sometime.
Well, you can just buy them so it's MasterCards and use them for Steam.
Yay!
Then again, that just means going to your computer, so I guess that would just mean collecting them. Do people collect those things?
Yeah, I don't know. Does anyone collect
Someone probably
debit
collects
cards?
them.
Yeah, someone does. I'll make a wall out of them or something.
And all these
All
numbers,
done.
but the numbers, yeah, they're useless because it's been used.
The numbers, man. The numbers. What do the numbers mean? Moving on. Looks like Walmarts are starting to get the CMC Funrise plushies in stock. So if you've been waiting for those...
Cutie Mark Crusader plushies, yay!
Look at their cutie marks and plushies.
Oh,
That would be
I wonder what
weird.
that actually would mean.
I don't know. Maybe we're
Don't
good at
think about it too
taxidermy.
hard.
Ugh. Anyway, moving on from that, Amazon's listing for the book Princess Celestia and the Summer of Royal Waves has been updated to now include a cover.
Yes. And it's apparently part of the Princess collection, which would allude to there being more.
Yes. Probably one for each.
There are 4 books then?
Possibly 3 or 4, depending on what point in the timeline they want to go by.
They're going to have 4 books.
Yeah, probably. The Shining Armor and Princess Cadence Funko vinyls are now available for pre-order on Hot Topic's site. Along with that, images of the glitter variants of both of those have been found as well. So,
Yes.
now you can pre-order them.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Cadence looks like Coca-Cola.
A cola pony?
Yeah. Because, well, I'm not sure why she's in that pink.
I think it has something... It might
Might
just
be
be
a
a lighting thing.
Yeah,
Because
'cause-
translucence and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it looks like Coke.
Don't drink it. Bad for your
Hey.
teeth.
Well, any
And
cola
you.
is.
And you in general.
Coke is better than Pepsi.
Get out there, that's crazy.
Not that crazy.
Oh, that's crazy.
No, it's not. Anyway, a little bit of comic news. Preview for comic issue number 28 is up.
Which should be up right after this airs.
Yes.
Or releases,
So-
yes.
If you want to take a look
Finally.
at the previews, there you go.
Yeah, issue 28. Finally.
Finally. And in Friendship is Magic news, and we're going to get I think we're going to get a little spoiler
Spoilers.
here.
Spoilers
So
are coming.
spoiler alert. You might want to drop out for
Next few minutes, because we're also going to be
Couple
spoiling
minutes.
other stuff.
yeah. So if you want to drop out, drop out.
5 minutes for now or so.
Yeah, something like that. We'll give you time to click the buttons.
Yes.
So, anyway, moving on. The official MLP YouTube channel has dropped yet another Season 5 teaser last Monday. We included it in the notes, but...
we included in the
haven't
notes,
talked
but I
about
said we also talk about
yeah,
it, so.
so we are talking about it.
Couple things.
Couple things, yes.
Number 1, Sweetie Belle singing up on stage, which is important of itself.
Yes, there's multiple important things.
Number 2 about that bit was, oh, hey, look, there's three judges. This looks like an American Idol type of a parody thing. And there's Rarity, okay, and Octavia and Vinyl sitting right next to each other for the first time.
Yes, together. Shippers ahoy.
Then again, they're judges.
They're also
Yeah.
judges, which is a little interesting. I'm assuming they're judging more than just Sweetie, because having Rarity judging Sweetie seems a little bit biased.
I don't see
to
why.
me.
Rarity probably be harder on her.
Maybe.
Probably.
Could go either direction. But yes, that is interesting.
Yes. Also, another thing, which I speculated a little of this on last week, showed the villain, Starlight Glimmer.
Yes.
Showed her running away, obviously from ponies trying to chase her out. Some of the probably looks like ponies from the little town, and she's running away on a bridge with a cart. And she doesn't have an equal sign cutie mark anymore. She has the one on the toys, which
Yes.
means I was kind of right about the whole her for cutie mark is going to be forcibly removed from her, the equal one, or restored, I guess. So
Possibly, yeah.
looks like I was more or less right on that.
Looks like, but we shall see.
Likely, it looks like this is the end, sort of thing. Because remember they go into town, looks like she's all like welcome, and she's all nice and friendly now, and so it makes sense that this is after. That's probably from the second half of the second episode of the premiere.
Yeah, it would make sense. But we shall see. So yeah, there's also Megan
Right.
McCarthy's little
Oh yeah, Megan McCarthy being a
little
teasing
quip
things
there
again.
at the end, teasing us. Might have something. That map might be Yeah.
Matt might do something special if you're magical enough.
I wonder what that's referring to.
Yeah.
So yes, we don't know, but she likes to tease us with this.
Yes.
So yeah.
Obviously, Sunset Shimmer confirmed. Obviously.
Yeah. No. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. So, yeah.
If it turns out I'm right, though, just
God,
because of
if you are right, that's just gonna be what? What? How the hell did you pull that one off?
Magic.
You just got lucky. No, there's no magic there. You just got freaking lucky.
Magic.
Anyway, I think that's about all we can say about
the trailer. Yeah,
about that trailer.
It wasn't a trailer. It was more of a...
It was a teaser, sneak peek kind of thing.
Featurette.
It
was a featurette because they had them talking about stuff.
Yeah. It was interesting. I'd recommend go watch it if you don't care about spoilers.
Yeah.
The Discovery family has released a series of promo videos for the upcoming season premiere and their Pony Day event. So, there's like 3 of them.
Yes.
They all show little clips.
One of them is just announcing the Pony Day thing.
Yeah. One of them is just announcing and explaining what it is, which basically just like a
Marathon leading up to the season 5 premiere, and then My Little Pony the movie from G1. No, yes. Not the new upcoming movie. No, it's not done.
Yes, we're just going to fast forward to 2017. But no. So that looks interesting. But then you had 2 other little promos. One for Fluttershy and one for Applejack. The Fluttershy one doesn't really show anything new.
There's like
or
one
anything. It's like one little clip, but it doesn't show anything from the new.
Old stuff.
Yeah. The Applejack one shows a whole bunch of stuff from the new season, but doesn't really
zero
give much context. So
like
they are interesting.
Like her laying dirt on the ground and flowers popping
up immediately. That Earth Pony magic.
Or something.
There's something like that. Or her bucking things and not really being able to try and open a door. I think.
Which with an equals Mars.
Yes. So I think she
definitely from news
there.
So yeah. Lots of context-less.
So context-less information. If you like that, go watch them. So yes.
Vectors. Good for vector artists.
Yep. And our last bit of spoilery news.
And also, wait. Oh, I almost forgot. This would, assuming that since there's a Fluttershy and an Applejack one, it's
probably going to be the rest of them.
Yes.
So they might actually
probably over the next week. Watch all of them will be out by the time we.
Yeah, watch they all drop them between now and when we actually air.
So just pretend we talked about them.
Yes, just pretend we talked about them.
We'll talk about them next if they do show up. We'll talk about them.
So yeah. Anyway, in our last little bit of news and spoilery news, we now have titles and synopsises for episodes 3 and 4 of season 5. Yeah, not just the premiere.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. What? Yeah.
Zap to it had them.
Yeah, and these ones that we know are legit.
Probably legit. 99% legit.
Yeah. So yeah, and they are as follows. Castle Sweet Castle. The ponies try to make Princess Twilight's castle feel more like a home after finding she's been avoiding it. And Bloom and Gloom. Apple Bloom has high anxiety over getting her cutie mark, and it begins to turn her life into a nightmare.
Yes.
So yeah, that's interesting. I'm assuming that first one, Castle Sweet Castle,
that's the
we're going
treehouse.
to talk about the tree.
That's going to be talking about the tree.
Yeah. The other one's the other interesting one.
I'm willing to bet Luna and Apple Bloom. Just like Scroodle and Sweetable got their episodes, this is Apple Bloom's turn.
The mention of the name definitely speaks to Luna.
I'd
the other
bet
one
money
is
on it.
that phrase. I'm seeing a little bit confusion. People aren't entirely certain what it means. Has high anxiety over getting her cutie mark. Does that mean, this is what we're used to? Not getting it, trying to get it? Or getting it and not knowing how to deal with it?
I mean, if they actually give her a cutie mark, it's like, okay.
Definitely interesting. Especially that early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume, because I remember if one of the fandom things is like, what if one of them gets it and the other 2 don't, type thing, how would they deal with it?
The jealousy?
Yeah, the jealousy or whatever, or feeling like they can't be friends anymore, or weird stuff, because kids think
Twist.
like that.
Like what happened to Twist?
Exactly.
Twist got her cutie mark and they just abandoned her.
I don't blame him for abandoning her, though.
I don't blame him that much either. Yeah. So yeah, that's those are things.
Yes. So I'm not surprised they're getting the tree thing out of the way very quickly.
Yep.
I don't think they'd want to have that hanging over their head for the rest of the season. Get it out of the way quickly, get the fans get the fans just on board, accepting the fact that, oh yes, the tree is gone. It's going to be very obvious,
yeah. So they're pushing the castle pretty hard. So yeah, that's the end of the news. So yeah, our discussion, we went back and watched, in preparation for the upcoming season 5, went back and watched the pilot.
Season 1 premiere.
Season 1 premiere, yeah. All the way back to where everything started.
Friendship is magic.
Friendship is magic, yes.
That's what it was called. Remember that.
I'm pretty sure we don't have to explain what happened. I think everyone at this point knows.
Nightmare Moon.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Nightmare Moon.
Go make some friends. No, do it anyway. Fine.
Oh, no, Nightmare Moon. Oh, look, your friends helped you. Yay, and they're actually the key to everything. So, yes, that's what happened.
Elements of harmony.
So, yeah, I'll start this one off. Unlike the last season 1 episode that we watched, I think this one actually still holds up.
Well, I never...
The last one, I think even past nostalgia, I think this one was still a good episode.
Yeah.
Not just because it's where everything started. And not because of its first song or anything. It holds up even without all of that.
Yeah. Although I find it funny, I remember this very distinctly particularly when season 1 was still airing. People would say, "Oh, you need to give the show a chance," when people are trying to convince other people to watch the show.
And they tell them to avoid the pilot.
No, they either say avoid it or watch it, but you're going to have to keep watching because it's a lot of people actually were outright saying it was kind of weak compared to later episodes. A lot of people were actually saying it was kind of worse than the other episodes of the series so far. I remember that. People were distinctly saying that it's like the worst episode of the series of the first 2. People were saying that. I very much remember that.
Yeah, that's...
People are saying, "Oh, you got to watch it." It's like if you need to watch it and like only want to watch one episode, watch this episode and then go back and watch this.
Yeah, I do remember there was a lot of
context
that people would say. Although I did hear a lot of it, they were saying it depends on who you're introducing the show to, and what the kind of things they're into.
Yeah.
But this is where I started. I didn't pick a quote unquote better episode to start with.
I think I told you to start at the beginning.
Yeah,
I said to start at the beginning. Just know that I said the first 2 episodes aren't well regarded, and just go with it. And I think what I said was they're very different tonally from the remaining episodes. Just know that.
Yes, they are different tonally.
They're like the 2 adventure episodes of the season. The rest of them are
because after that it's switched over to slice of life. So this was different tonally. I actually think I prefer this one over the individual slice of life.
It looks like we're getting more into more and more adventure as time has gone on, which is good in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with you. This is, like I said, this is where I started. I remember it hooked me right here, right in the beginning. It's where it hooked me, and I still think it holds up.
Yeah. I just remember when I was being told, the first 2 episodes are worse. This was when I was getting into it, and I decided to go ahead and start at the beginning anyway, just because, and that's also where the link led me. Hey, here's the episode. Go watch. Okay. Yeah, but I just remember because people kept saying, "Oh, the first 2 episodes are worse than the rest of it," and all this stuff, and I'm like, I actually really enjoyed that, and of course, after I had my little freak out about actually enjoying it.
Yes, that
the little freak out. Oh God, I actually enjoyed that.
How long did that take to get through?
I think I was sitting there for like an hour just staring at the screen.
Yeah, I think it took a little longer.
It's just sitting there realizing I actually enjoyed it and all that stuff, and it's like I actually enjoyed it, and people are saying this is worse. I was think 1 to 2 things. 1, that means I'm in for really a treat, or 2, it's one of those situations, in my opinion, is going to be reverse of a lot of people, where it's like I'm going to love the first 2 and start to really dislike the next few, and then that didn't really turn out to either one of them turned out to be the case. It just wound up just being just differing opinions, because I really enjoyed the pilot, but I also really enjoyed I think I said this before, but I didn't really actually get hooked, because at first I was kind of separating them out, and then I didn't get hooked till Applebuck season, and then I just binge watched.
Yep, I got hooked right off the start. It was this one, the next one, and then just kept watching until when, oh crap, I need to stop watching so I can sleep, because that's an important thing. I got through maybe 5 episodes before I realized what time it was. Yeah. So yeah, it hooked me right here, right in the beginning.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but this is a whole knowledge of knowing that the first 2 episodes were significantly different, made me hesitate. And then I watched the next episode. I think I put off watching Applebuck season the next day. I don't remember exactly anymore, but I just know once I saw Applebuck season, I just wouldn't stop. I was like thinking to myself, I'll just watch 2 episodes or something, and then I just kept going.
I'll just watch one more.
Kept going. I was like, that's it. I'm at the end. now. Now what?
Now what? Oh crap! Now you have to wait.
When's the next episode come out?
Yeah. When I got in, the whole first season was done. It was between seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, you're right there. You
I was shortly before season 2.
Yeah, but like less than a month.
Yeah, so I got lucky with that one.
I had to wait like 4 months, and then.
Although that means it took me. I was behind joining the fandom.
You were that second wave.
Yeah. You could have made me join sooner.
Yeah, well, I didn't.
Yeah. Oh well, alas. It is in the past. But yeah, this was... We had our first song, so right in the beginning. Actually, it was second episode. The second half, we had our first song, and it was Pinkie Pie.
Giggle at the Ghostlies.
Yep, Giggle at the Ghostlies. And that made a lot of waves.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. It's still highly regarded.
Yeah.
Even now as one of the better songs. I think so. And again, that might be just a nostalgia thing, but yeah.
I think, well, moving beyond some of this stuff, the actual shows themselves, it's kind of interesting how have they quickly and succinctly established these 7 characters, like, very quickly, like, these are who they are.
Yes.
This is always a thing. It's like, with a lot of shows, you only have like 2 or 3 characters, and it's a little easier, but now you have to have established 7.
If you include Spike, maybe more if you want to include some of the other
I'd say just 7. And you just have to establish 7 characters and they had to establish them very quickly, and thankfully they had a 2-parter to do this. If they had to do it in 1 part, oh god. That would not made a good impression.
Horrible.
But they had within 2 episodes they established all 7 of these characters very quickly and very succinctly, so we didn't have to sit there and dwell on it. So by the time the next Ticketmaster rolled around, which was the 3rd episode, we know who they were.
Yeah. They did a
and the
great
Ticketmaster
job.
then also helped to really extrapolate even more about some of them.
Yeah,
and so on throughout the first season.
Job on
but this gave us these first 2 episodes were really good at giving us a really basic overview over who they are, and then over the course of the season we get to really learn more about all of them. Because we just learned, okay, Twilight, well, she's a nerd.
She's a nerd.
She's also was a loner who, well, is now seeing much, much later in a new lens and all that stuff. We kind of see that, as we can see those elements of, well, Sunset.
Elements.
Yeah. Inadvertent puns. But yeah, we actually see like personality traits that Sunset would see later in Sunset, the same sort of kind of beliefs and attitudes.
Including, and yes, I'm going to say this, and yes, you're going to be mad at me, the sort of arrogance.
A little bit, yeah.
Because, I really think right in that beginning, she quickly cooled off, but I think she was rather arrogant.
A little bit.
Right in that beginning.
Just took 3 seasons to cool off.
Yeah. No.
No, yeah, she took like 3 seasons to cool off. Didn't really happen until, I guess, Sleepless in Ponyville, actually. But anyway, yeah, that's my opinion. I'm sticking with it.
Yes, I know. It's always been your opinion. But yeah, that's...
So we could quickly establish that that's who Twilight was and how she starts to realize. Then we get the establishment of this is going to be the series about Twilight learning about this whole friendship thing she just started learning about, or just started and we get Spike is kind of Spike. I don't know. Spike is just.
Well, we established that he's the assistant character.
He's also on the young side and doesn't know. We also very established quickly he's young. He's very young, and
do they reiterate the
he's
fact
still
that he's a baby dragon?
Learning. Yeah, the baby dragon doesn't know some words. Doesn't even know how to spell some. Well, it's quite frankly
obviously,
easy words.
Brink.
Yeah, brink.
Brink.
You don't know.
Threshold. Precipice will give you.
Precipice.
Precipice will give you threshold and brink. Really?
Yeah, but we learned, and he's also young. He the events wore him out by the beginning of the 2nd episode.
Mm-hmm.
He was just worn out. He's
completely worn out.
Whereas Twilight's still like, you need to do something about this. And we got very quickly Pinkie is hyperactive and possibly insane.
I do like how they set up the introduction for each character.
Yeah.
They kept it in story. The story was built in such a way that they could
they're all
do that. It gave them a reason for why you're going to be a quick introduction.
Summer Sun celebration. Why do we need just randomly showing up? There's Applejack's in charge of food, and also Applejack is very friendly, very honest, and very family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
We get that very quickly. Rarity is fashionista and all that stuff. So we get she's fashionista. She's very concerned with appearances and clean, classy, and we get that very quickly. And Dash is fast. Speed, me, speed, me, speed. That was Dash. You can't deny that.
Oh, did you hear me denying it?
And you got Fluttershy. Well, that was real easy. Just be quiet and then start to freak out.
Squeaking.
Yeah, the squeak. Just the
squeak. I can't even emulate.
So we get the. Yeah, we very quickly establish all of them. We established that in the 1st episode, and then we established more about them in the 2nd episode, which was the the element thing. Which,
the element things.
although there were a couple missteps. I will actually say
there was one, probably the lowest point of the premiere.
Criticism.
Yeah, and I really don't know how they could have done it better. Introducing Applejack's honesty on the cliffside. Yeah, that was just like, it felt like...
they couldn't figure out how to introduce it. I think they admitted as much. They couldn't really figure it out. So they just kind of winged it.
Yeah, it feels like they had issues with it. But that's pretty much its own...
If I recall, they actually had a different idea, but that was rejected.
Huh.
I think it was one of those they couldn't get it to work, as in someone went, no, you can't do that.
Huh.
One of those types of situations. So...
I don't know. That's probably his lowest point, though, and even it's not.
It's not. Yeah, it still makes sense, but just
it's like
it's a little weird.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't have actually seen that if it were to actually happen. But yeah.
Although also especially at this point, it also established Dash was it's the kind of person who would click on the link from the Nigerian banker.
Oh, come on.
The Shadow Bolt thing. Come on. It's like just out of nowhere, new team, never heard of, out of. Shadow Bolts, they don't exactly look good. They're showing up in the middle of this thing where you're right next to the castle. And
they don't look good. They have pretty good designs.
I'm just saying, as in good, as in good evil, not good as in good.
Well, at least you could actually see them.
I'm just saying.
With the Nigerian bank scams, it's
just one of those things where it's just, she would fall for that and someone would have to yell. At this point in time, I'm not saying later on, but I'm saying at this point in time, she would have fallen for it and she would have.
Maybe.
Because she almost... Remember, she actually hesitated, said you, and I don't know. She had a
little bit weird.
She had a bit of a struggle. Let's be honest. It's one of those. She was right on the edge of.
Well, yeah,
she was.
So. She was.
It's like one of those things where I'm going, hold up. Why are you showing up now? Why are you showing up in the middle of the night when there's a kind of a things are wrong? Why are you showing all this? There's a lot of questions I'd be asking.
But it played to her weakness.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
We also got a couple of, I guess, supporting characters out of this, and like Mayor, who is also voiced by Kathy Westlock. And
I thought Nicole did Mayor.
No, she's Shirley.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Speaking of Nicole, Celestia.
Yeah.
At the end, and Luna, who disappeared until season 2.
We see her right in the beginning, and then never see her until the next season. It's like,
I just want to say, just Nightmare Moon in general is a very nice, striking design for a villain.
Yes, they did a very good job.
Very Darth Vader-esque, actually, in a sense.
Huh. Yeah.
Black, imposing, intimidating.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Tall, all in black. Just, it's very intimidating.
Yeah.
Also, calling everyone fools.
Fools, you fool!
Exactly. And they kind of dropped that. I even remember one of the villains, I think it was actually Tyrek or someone that actually said fools. I was like, oh, it's gone now.
You missed your horse pun. Come on.
But yeah, I actually always liked the Nightmare Moon design in general. It's really good.
Pretty much all of their villain designs are great. But yeah.
Particularly I think Discord's kind of the weakest. Oh god, I'm going to get lynch mob after me. But
you're probably going to get lynched.
But whatever. I just think it's still the weakest of the villain designs so far. But yeah, I think Nightmare Moon was a really good introductory villain, just in general. Although we didn't see really another villain until Discord came along.
Yeah.
That we saw some antagonists like Trixie and Gilda and stuff. But again, they showed up, and then the rest of I was actually, yeah, it wasn't. Those were like all antagonists were like front loaded, and then after that,
yeah, we didn't get any major villains.
Yeah, they were minor antagonists, but Nightmare Moon I think some of her plans were like, I think her best one was the first one where, hey, let's drop the floor out from under them, and the other one was, hey, let's get the Manticore to attack them.
Yeah.
Those are her best plans, and then it was like, oh, let's make Scary Trees.
Scary Trees was kind of weak. The Shadow Bolts wasn't weak.
Now, if the trees were actually came alive, okay, that's the different story.
Yeah, that would work. These ones are just funny faces.
I think that's one of those two scary things. I think, if I recall, they actually said they had trouble with the trees, in fact, and the Manticore.
You just reminded me of a Rush song.
Oh, hey.
Trouble with the... Trouble in the forest is a problem with the trees. Oh, God, it's going to be stuck in my head now.
Oh, well. This is
at least it's not a bad thing. But, it's Rush, so...
Yeah, so... Yeah, I think they remember they say they had trouble because it was like, this is too scary. Because remember, this is... Well, aimed at a young audience, like, it's too scary. The same with the Manticore, which I remember they pulled her back. Lauren Faust actually showed some designs. It's like they pulled it back. It's like she was very. The Manticore at one point was very much more bumbly looking in a sense. It's like more doofy. And they're like, no, make it a little fiercer. So that's what we got. They couldn't go too far, but yeah. And now we got stuff like that. What was it? The Chimera in season 4.
Oh yeah, the Chimera.
That was actually kind of.
Oh dang! All right, except they kind of tamed that one a little bit with the humor.
Yeah, but it was still intimidating looking.
Yeah.
And it's so it's still, I think, like the Shadow Bolt thing. Let's be honest, that was a little bit of a gamble.
I think it worked pretty well.
I'm saying it worked, but it was a gamble, hoping that would work on Dash, the Shadow Bolts. That was a bit of a gamble, because, let's be honest, there's no way Luna or Nightmare Moon would know.
Yeah, that is a question. How would you know? It worked. It worked really well. It almost worked.
Yeah.
But it was...
The only thing I can think of was some sort of mind reading.
Yeah, which
some sort of basic questions. Mind reading. Possibly some basic mind reading. The dream thing, though.
True, but
dreams.
Has she been there for...
Who knows? Maybe. Well, Dash was probably napping. Came back, Dash was napping.
I don't know.
Let's just go with that. Seal was weakening, she could enter dreams, and Dash was napping, and Wonderbolt. Should know that.
That would get in the... Yeah. But yeah, that's for choice of attack, where the trees were kind of weak of an idea. But the Manticore and just dropping them off a cliff was good ideas. But the Shadow Bolt was a very good idea as well.
It was one of those, I think it was just a gamble. It was just a huge gamble and possibly could have backfired, and it did. But
it almost did, though.
It's the only way...
If you want to go there, technically...
hey, Dash... And of course, that inspired several fanfics. Hey, Dash just... Well, if Dash said yes.
If Dash said yes, there probably would have been a Shadow Bolt team.
Who knows what would happen then? Because, those are just magical manifestations, weren't real opponents, so who knows?
Who knows? I don't know. There's a whole bunch of fanfics, so if you want to, just go read them.
Yeah. All sorts of stuff about that. Also, it's so weird how Luna is on screen for so little, but people got so enamored with her.
It is a little bit interesting.
It's just, and this is also the first appearance of many of the beloved background ponies. All of them, many of them.
Lyra, some of them multiple times in the same scene.
Derpy.
Lots of Derpy in the background.
First time we see the I think it was confirmed it was an animator goofing off. Was why Derpy had the
derp eyes.
Yeah.
Yep.
If it wasn't for that, Derpy would never would have been a thing.
Yep. And she was there right in the beginning.
And
right there from the start.
Another interesting thing was the CMC were there together.
Yes, that's
even
an
though
interesting one.
I think it's just one of those just kids were just there with their families and then wound up cowering together.
Yeah,
just one of those random chances.
Because it's a little bit weird. We see them together, the three of them in here, but it isn't until later that they actually become friends.
Foreshadowing. We'll just go with that.
It's a little bit interesting.
Just a bit of foreshadowing about later. And that reminds me, speaking of foreshadowing, I did like the bit where when Twilight was talking back in Camelot and she walks by the hourglasses up, and this has been the thing everyone knows when you go, there's a statue of a unicorn head, and when she goes through, when you see it through the hourglass, you see Nightmare Moon. Mm-hmm. That's been a known thing. It's still really cool.
It is a really cool effect.
Just a little touch. It's not really a thing. It's just a kind of little touch. Ha! See? It's one of those, you might even see it. Mm-hmm. I didn't see it the first time I watched.
I don't think I saw it either.
Also, I remember this is another fancy because this is where we also first introduced the Spike as a crush on Rarity thing.
Oh yeah.
Very first, because he sees her and just, my name is Doug and I love you. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But as we saw in, I think, Pony's Anthology 3, I think. Maybe it was 2. But one of the two. Anyway, I think there's actually some speculation regarding Rarity and Spike and stuff about this because before, Twilight was invited to Moondancer's party back in Camelot, which she didn't go to because she had a lot of studying to do, which was actually, seemed like it was important. But Spike got a gift from Moondancer and stuff, and a lot of people actually speculated that Spike might have had a crush on Moondancer before moving to Ponyville.
It's possible.
It's one of those.
Although a lot of people were bringing gifts, as we saw.
Yeah, that was another thing. It doesn't mean anything, but it's just kind of a nice little, possibly a way to get, kind of get around the whole, how do you deal with Spike and Rarity? Oh, look, it's just another kid crush that's going to fade eventually.
Yes, and it still hasn't, though.
Yep. Almost in season 5 and still around.
The ship that just won't die. Or sink, as it were.
Just putting along.
Put, like a little tugboat.
Yep.
Just can't stop. Just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah. Oh, this is also an introduction of the Everfree Forest.
Oh, yes. They introduced pretty much all of the groundwork here that we see.
And this is also where we get the idea that Celestia is, been plotting this for a while.
Yes.
Because, oh, look, I'm going to do this. The Summer Sun Celebration is going to be in Ponyville this year, which happens to be right next to Everfree Forest, which is where the castle is, which is where the elements are.
Yes.
And
also has to be the hometown of all but one of the elements of harmony.
Yeah, and she just sent one, and which she's been personally grooming.
Yes.
And then later on we find out, oh, Celestia had a hand in Ponyville's founding, or hoof.
And had a hoof.
Yeah, because hey, apples, there. That's a good spot, which happens to be right next to Everfree Forest.
Yes.
She's been planning for a while.
The schemer, the master schemer.
Batman gambits.
With a long con.
Prep time.
Yeah.
Can beat anyone as long as you have prep time. Well, I mean, have 1,000 years. To think about getting your sister back. So
yeah,
you can just start. You can start.
You can scheme.
Although I found it interesting in the opening thing, which was really cool. The whole little art style in the opening story bit, talking about the mayor and the moon and all that stuff. They said banished forever.
Yeah, banished forever. They don't mention the 1,000 years.
It's not until later when Twilight starts researching it, which I find just kind of an interesting. Whoops.
Yes.
I think it was just wording. Just didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Possibly something was changed at one point for whatever reason. Because, and that reminds me another thing that was randomly changed. Like, at this point, we didn't really see magical effects on everything that's, like...
Yeah, we didn't have the auras.
They pick something up in their magic, and we don't see, like, an effect around it, except for a vague sparkle one.
Yeah, because we see the aura around their horns.
Except when Spike, we kind of see a vague, really light one, and then later on, after this, it's like... It just kind of comes at a full force.
Yeah,
here's the magical aura. On. I think it was at the point, I remember them explaining this, I think it was on the DVD commentaries, just... At the time, it was a late decision that did not make it into the pilot, basically.
Huh.
Which were several errors. Or that was a derpy.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense to have the auras in there, just for at least for the viewers to know, who's controlling what.
And also this introduced several fandomies, including Stephen Magnet.
Stephen Magnet.
How did that happen? Because of a weirdness with YouTube.
That was the YouTube auto-caption
thing.
The
YouTube auto-captions kind of called him Stephen Magnet, and it stuck, and then it became official.
Stuck. Yep.
Then we got Manny Roar, which the fandom had nothing to do with, but it's kind of just, wow.
Manny Roar.
Yeah, Manny Roar. They call him Manny Roar.
Manny Roar. All right, I'll go with it. So, yeah, I think overall it was still a good episode.
Yeah, still good.
It still holds up.
I do think there are better episodes of Season 1, but it's definitely not the weakest that, like, a lot of people like to think. I thought it was, of course, by the time, like, say, All's Well That Ends Well and Over a Barrel popped up. People aren't saying it was the weakest anymore, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember actually a lot of people did not like Over a Barrel. But, yeah, this was just a very nice way of quickly introducing us to the characters and getting a big story going. And for a long time, a lot of fans were wishing for more episodes like that where it's more adventure and stuff. Yep. And we're now starting to get that in Season 4. And
finally.
Now it looks like 5 are really going to ramp it up.
Finally, we got our good adventure stories.
Yeah, it's weird. Also, Nightmare Moon, even though she's obviously defeated, a lot of people want just like, Chrysalis and whatnot, they would just want her back somehow. And we could kind of get her back in Season 4, but that was a flashback thing.
Yeah, we haven't.
Also, funnily enough, Tabitha de Saint Germain gives her a very different inflection by that point in time. If you listen to her, go watch the Season 1 premiere and Season 4 premiere. You'll hear very different inflections for Nightmare Moon from Tabitha.
It's probably just them getting more used to their characters.
Well, Nightmare Moon didn't really have a...
She didn't really have an...
I think it's just she just does it differently.
Yeah.
But it's just because one of those things, it's like you have to have a voice that sounds like Luna, but not quite the same as Luna.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's all I can think of right now.
Yeah, I think that's all I can't think of anything else
I think it was a good way to get into the fandom.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
They did a very good job on it. It was done very, very well as a pilot. Obviously, or none of us would be here, I think. So, yeah, they did a great job. It's still worth going back and watching over and over again. So, that brings us to the end of the discussion. So, we have fan content.
Gasp.
Yeah, so I will start us off. I have 2 songs. The first one I have is Better Together by NCND.
Each one of us has something special that makes us different.
like this one. It's fairly simple. It's not too huge. It's sort of a house-ish. People want to say prog house. I'm not quite sure I want to give it that. It's house-ish, but it's a pretty nice combination of Equestria Girls song, the Better Than Ever, and the song from the season 4 finale, Let the Rainbow Remind You.
Yep.
I think they work pretty well together. It's just a fun little song to listen to.
Yeah, it is a nice blend of the two songs. I mean, it's one of those. I forgot. I didn't. It took me actually a second. Wait a minute. Wait, this is a different song. Mm-hmm. So if you catch yourself like that, that probably means blended well, nice. Yeah, it's also very light. Yes. I guess it's a very light song. It's kind of more in line with the actual show song, so it's very light in general. Not the we get a lot of heavy stuff in this fandom. This isn't that heavy sort of thing. This is very light and bouncy-ish.
It's fairly simple in its instrumentation too.
Yeah,
it's not.
So overall, it's actually a pretty good song. Yeah, it's overall pretty good. It mimics the show style while still maintaining its own thing, but yeah, it didn't feel too far removed from a lot of the show songs and the actual show songs, which a lot of the fandom music does get pretty far away from the show style.
Yeah, a lot of them do. Nothing wrong with that, but
no.
So good song. Give it a listen. The second one I have is Fall Apart by Exiarch and Fritzy Beat.
To take what I've been trained for. Now it hurts worse than before. Now it drives me to wage war.
This one's got some heavy wubs in it. It does definitely drop into the dubstep style, though it doesn't stay there.
Oh, no.
It goes kind of back and forth between the heavy wubs and again, I want to call it sort of house-ish. I can't really call it that, but yeah, you get what I mean. Hopefully,
just listen to it.
Yeah, just go listen to it. It's one of the things about it. It does do a lot of heavy wubs, but it doesn't do it's not a huge mess like I hear a lot of the times. It's not a horrible mess of wubs. It keeps its rhythm and such. Yeah. It's not too overpowering. Some of the vocals I think can get a bit nasally on, but overall it's not too bad.
Well, I think the nasally bit is a little hidden by that music. A little bit. I think if you listen to the vocals by themselves, you start to hear it more.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. It's a sunset.
It's about
sunset, which that makes that
immediate points for you.
It's a piques my interest right there. So, but it's kind of like a blend of two styles which makes sense because if you read the lyrics on the YouTube link, it's supposed to be from two different viewpoints, so it makes sense that the two styles would be like. I think Sunsets is more of the heavy side, whereas Celestia is a little on the lighter side, if I'm remembering correctly. With the Celestia parts of music lightens up a bit, whereas Sunset's a little more heavy. I mean, of course, there's interludes which get really heavy. I noticed that it gets really heavy between the vocals and then lightens up again.
Well, it has to so you can
actually hear it. Otherwise, it's like, what? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Yeah. So so it oscillates kind of between two styles. But I think my real complaint about it is I wish I had a second singer just to help differentiate between the two parts, because as it stands you got the same singer doing both parts and it's
sort of hard to tell when they switch.
Yeah, I mean you have to really pay attention to the musical style to know, but I think it would really help differentiate more if they had a second singer just in general doing the two different parts, just to really, because it kind of sounds like it's just one person singing both parts of a duet, which
is a bit interesting.
Of course, you get that in, say, Rainbow Rocks with Sunset and Twilight at the end. And
yeah,
you get the same. That's one of those, sort of. The same person singing two different parts, but it makes
their voice.
There's a reason, though. There's a reason, though. Yeah, this guy does the same voice for both, so there's no real differentiation.
Yeah. But it's still pretty good.
Yeah. So. I just wish that was the thing.
Yeah. So go give that a listen as well. So yeah, that's the music I have.
Found the music did you?
Do you have any fanfics?
Not new ones, but I do have a couple updates.
All right, we'll go with that.
Okay, so start off. Withdrawal updated with another chapter, and once again, it's gotten dark.
Holy crap, it did.
Yeah, it's dark again. All dark, and hey, changelings now.
Yep.
What's going on? Yeah, lots of new elements have been introduced, and just to check it out, I think. I don't want to go too deep into it, things are definitely changing there.
On the writing thing, it plays a little bit different than the rest of them does because of what's going on. It kind of piecewise.
Yeah, because it's very Twilight perspective because it's like
it's made in pieces because of what's going on in the story.
Twilight's
so it's a little
not
bit
exactly totally there right now because she's going through withdrawal. So it helps really cement the idea that Twilight's not really fully functional right now.
Yeah. We can spoil the last chapter, right? One before this? Because it makes sense. The piecewise stuff is her waking up because she fell unconscious at the end of the last chapter.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
So, yeah. It's that.
And the other one the update is Twilight Falls, Sunset Dawn's got another chapter. And apparently this is the penultimate chapter because he said there's one more chapter and the epilogue to do. And this one also explains why Sunset's been acting more like Twilight. It helps explain that, and also explains why Twilight's been acting more like Sunset, although not to the extreme degree that Sunset has. Basically, both of them, but happens that the spell is not exactly a stable one because it's old. It was not intended for this. And basically, what happens is the longer the two of them are not in their bodies, basically, the more and more insane they'll both go. As the original personality starts to overwrite the new one that's been planted in the body. So yeah, they're both going to go insane if they stay like this. And Sunset doesn't want. I was already kind of gone further than Twilight, possibly because she's already a little unstable beforehand.
Only a little.
Yeah, because this is obviously a dark alternate thing which does not take into account Rainbow Rocks, as we've said before.
Yes.
So yeah, it kind of. Oh, that's the reason why that was not the reason I thought it was. So good on you, author. I just want to see how they wrap it up because it's almost done. Because it's pretty obvious it's almost done if you read it. So go check it out for sure because it's it's been definitely keeping up with making me not regret recommending it. That's for sure.
All right. So that's all you've got?
Yeah,
that's all we've got. That brings us to the end of our episode. Yeah, once again, we're closing. So, as per our usual closing word vomit, if you liked what you listened to and you want to hear more, you can find all of our episodes, past, future, present, at pony411.libsyn.com. That's Libsyn. So go there and check it out. You can also find us on iTunes. Just search for Pony411. You can subscribe and have it auto-download and all that fancy sort of stuff. You can also find us on Stitcher.com, or you can use their app. Search for us, find us on there. You can also find us on YouTube, youtube.com/Pony411. Watch/listen to our episodes there, subscribe, leave us comments.
Please make sure they make sense.
Yes. If they don't make sense, we can't really respond because we don't understand you. So, yeah. If you don't want to do any of those, you can also listen to us on Ponyville FM. We air every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. So, tune in. We also now listen on the Ponyville Live.
Yes, the Ponyville Live website. We are now finally fully affiliated.
Yes, we've been sort of there for a while through Ponyville FM. But
we're now fully affiliated.
Yay.
With our own section and everything. If you want to go through their RSS feed, you can do that. It's linked in the YouTube. Into their YouTube video. So yeah, and in the front page will update with brand new shows and everything and all that stuff.
Yay.
So
that's
pretty
cool.
Exciting.
Yep, that's all neat. So yeah, if you would like to contact us, send us comments, questions, suggestions, criticisms, all that sort of stuff, we can take it. Email us, pony411podcast@gmail.com.
Tell us why we're wrong.
Tell us why we are wrong. Please, that'd be interesting. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Pony411. Send us messages, like us. We post whenever we post an episode. So you can also find us on Twitter. We are at Pony411. So go follow us there and tweet us. We tweet you back.
We tweet things.
Yes, we tweet.
Sometimes actually non-podcast stuff.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. You can also find us on our personal Twitter accounts. I am at Alca7raz with an underscore at the end and a 7 instead of a T, and he's at Nemesis Prime 1.
Yes.
So
watch me tweet about Gravity Falls and Halo.
And Halo lots.
Possibly Hotline Miami too, because
Yes, apparently that's pretty good from what I've heard. So yeah, go follow us there, tweet us, whatnot. We'll respond. Probably.
Yes, I will.
Yes.
Unless
you're a jerk. Or we can't understand you. So yeah, go follow us there. So yeah, that brings us to the end. Hope you liked what you heard. Hope you'll tune in next time.
Yes.
Continue this line, I believe. Yes.
I think we're going to get chaotic.
chaotic.
Little entropy.
Little bit of entropy. Thank you for that song, by the way. That was a really good song. So yeah, until next time, please pony responsibly.